to another Just Enough Heshy show, and we're going to have a nice, good show today. A lot of good things are happening to me, and I had a great week. Not really a great week, but things are going good, and George is starting to squash me, and I want to say hello,
Your
George.
producer wants me closer to you to watch you.
George, welcome back. George, you were gone last week. You went to some protest or something?
No. I went to Brooklyn Borough Hall, the state of Brooklyn. Last Wednesday.
He went to kiss somebody's behind.
No, I did not kiss anyone's
Probably
behind.
on your behalf.
I hope it was on my behalf.
That whole room knows I'm a Republican, so you know.
And Nicole, welcome back, Nicole. How are you? She looks so beautiful. Today we took pictures for our show, new pictures. Nicole really should have seen the way she was doing the hair and the makeup and the lipstick. This is the way you're supposed to wear your lipstick.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay. Anyways.
That might be too dangerous for Borough Park. They're not used to that.
You know, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter how conservatively I dress. They look me up and down. They just know I'm not Orthodox. It's like,
No. It's not that, because it's not the problem with the top part, but when the bottom part is very, very short, that's not good.
it's not short. It's
Do they know?
Chinese.
Do they know you're Jewish?
I don't know.
She wears a Jewish
the
symbol.
Hamsa gives it away,
How come
but
I
I don't
hear
know.
myself so clearly. It's
That's
not
all
so
right.
good. I don't know why. I don't know. I keep
It means you'll
adjusting.
talk
It
less.
doesn't work. I don't know. I'm not hearing myself clearly. I don't know why he's... Oh, now I hear better. I don't know. He's pushing the button. Yes, no. Anyways, he tells me to shut up. Why does my producer always tell me to shut up when I shouldn't be shutting up? I'm really very good. Well, anyways, we have an interesting show today. I want to talk about a lot of different ideas that I have. I have some personal stuff that I want to talk to you all about, and I want to invite all of you too. And George and Nicole, I hope they show up, because they never come to any of my events. Oh, much better. How did that work? You fixed it now.
Because he's a producer. That's what producers do.
It wasn't good. It's still good. Getting better. Something is better. I think see, now I hear my delicious voice. I know I have. You know what he tells me today? He says, your voice is not sexy. I sexy it up with the machine. Oh, please. Can you make one of those fake laughs with your...
You know, that's what I love about you, Heshy. You're very humble.
Yeah, so modest.
Wow. Well, anyways, you people like my voice. Anyways, we're going to welcome a lot of soon our new listeners. And Nicole and me are going to have a little discussion about her favorite President Trump. I'm going to ask you some legal questions, and I need to ask you something very serious that I think Trump is brilliant what he's going to do now. People think that he doesn't have the money, but I think he's brilliant on his plan. And George and me are going to have a little discussion on politics and Brooklyn politics. And I'm hoping that George becomes the next chairman of the Brooklyn committee.
No, that's, it's my friend Dimitri's. Who should be the chairman.
But the point is we need to make a change. Nothing is getting done. The Republicans are falling apart. Republicans are not accomplishing anything in New York City.
I heard they're having a hard time getting signatures all over the place.
But
so
my problem is we should be taking over New York completely, and we're not even going to come close.
Well, listen, the Republicans should own South Brooklyn, but they're doing a terrible job. I'll say it a million times, reaching out to the Chinese community, reaching out to the religious Jewish community, reaching out. I mean, they've definitely done well in the Russian community, but they have done no outreach. So imagine if they reach out to these people. The South Brooklyn would be a red lake.
Well, me and George, we're going to go out this summer. We're going to try to register thousands of New Yorkers to become Republicans in our Brooklyn neighborhood, and we're going to try to tell you guys, join us, come work with us. Maybe we can maybe we can make changes in New York City. Do you think Trump is going to have a chance to win New York, or is it? That way, everybody, I just want you to know that wasn't a sound effect. That was my dear delicious Nicole.
So Heshy, there's a professor who made a list of all the things the Democrats are doing to preserve democracy. Do you want to hear it?
We're going to hear it in a minute.
We're
just right now. It's 9:05. We're going to be welcoming our favorite people at WSNR Radio 620 AM. Welcome to the show, and WNEW FM HD3. Welcome to the Just Enough Heshy show, and WVIPDQ. I don't even know the number. I keep forgetting it. Every week I practice and I keep forgetting it. In Miami, which I like Miami so much. I can't wait to go to Miami, and I'm looking to George.
Are you going to wear a Speedo?
Not a Speedo. I'm going to wear one of these old men bathing suits that go all the way up to my
oh
chest.
my God.
I want to do it with those long socks just to, just to have
That's
fun.
what we should have taken a picture of today.
I also want to welcome our online listeners. The conversation's already kicked off, so if you want to join the chat, I will be the one answering you guys. today,
All right,
so
Nicole's
extra spicy on the laptop.
Nicole is on the computer today.
And what's that number to call if they want to call in?
646-974-1580. George?
646-974-1580.
Call into the show and you can ask Nicole anything.
Did we check this number?
course.
Does this number work?
It's
Gonna say, let's
supposed to
make sure
work.
it works.
I don't know.
We're
You
taking
know,
the
When I was in
calls.
Washington, I tried to call in and this did not work.
I know the producer still doesn't know what he's doing. Anyways, I want to tell you a cute joke. Okay, are you ready?
All right.
Me and Linda, we had a little house upstate in a little town. And we got, it's a little village, and we started to become very popular there. And we joined the community boards, and they had farms and people's houses and a whole bunch of different people in this small little town, and you get to know everybody. And we got called into one of these town
halls?
It's not a town, right? It was all the people in the town discussing local issues that we're having in the town, stupid little stuff. And I remember one guy got up and started talking about some crazy things in the town that he wasn't happy about. And Linda was telling him that, you can't just have animals in the street and running around. We're driving on bicycles. And a farmer gets up. Linda doesn't know anything. I mean, she can't even tell you how many toes on a pig. And Linda was so cool. She says, take off your boot and we'll count them.
I like
remember
that.
when Linda said that, the man sat down. I gave Linda, even I clapped for that
I
one.
love it.
It was very cute. Linda was very smart on it. I want to give you my quote, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give you a quote. And it's a serious quote, okay? It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation and only one bad deed to lose it.
That's true.
That is absolutely true.
The bitterest tears shed over graves are for words left unsaid and deeds left undone. And I want to tell you why I'm telling you this quote. As you know, I fight the city daily on different government agencies across the board. And when I get into city council, I am going to destroy these government agencies. Me and George, we're going after them. You have commissioners that are not qualified, George. I mean, Nicole, you have people in power who are supervisors who've never done any work, who don't know the code of law. They just write. So I had a fight with. I've been doing this a long time, and
Don't they supposed to have some experience?
No. They just hire them. They teach them. They show them what there has to be done, and we're the ones. If we don't have the experience, we can't get the licenses. They can go and they don't have to have the licenses, and they're master plumber. Us master plumbers, they're the inspectors. Us master builders, they're the inspectors. They don't even know what they're doing half the time. So I bumped into a inspector about 7-8 years ago. And we've always had our tiffs, head to head, knocked each other. And we've spoken, I try to be nice to them. But this one was a hard head. And me and him have always gone head to head, but we were pretty cordial always. That if he always needed something or he told me he needed to get somewhere, he called me and I called him. And we knew how to not waste each other's time. He was a decent inspector. He still played the game. He had to get his bosses the violations, but again, he wasn't.
Do they have a quota?
They do have a quota. We don't understand it because they don't get money on it. Judges get $5 per case for every case they rule against us. It's a fact. Yeah.
What? No.
There's a kickback?
Not kickback. Administrative judges get $5 per case they rule against the people, and if they don't give 90% of the time wins to the building department, they get fired.
Wait, hold on, back up.
I don't know about that.
They get money if they get money every case
yeah.
or every case they rule against you.
Every case they rule for the DOB $5.
Does that sound right, Nicole?
No, not in the least.
Now, I spoke to judges who've left the DOB and have joined our side because that's when they make more money, and plus they're not full-time employees.
Why is this not in the media?
And
Why are you not suing them?
We do. We tell them, and also they only get 900 hours of work because if they work more than 900 hours, they become employees of the city, and they also get health insurance benefits and other
They're
stuff.
judges. They get that anyway.
No, they're administrative judges. So they just people they pick off and they make them into a judge. That's it. Administrative judges are not real judges. You're not talking about state judge. It's like a DOB. It's an oath. I'm just telling you. But we do have to call them Your Honor and Judge and all that crap. So I met this inspector. And finally, one day, he got on my nerves. And he went into a building and he went crazy. I think maybe his wife, I don't want to even tell you, maybe he went crazy. And he wrote violations, almost $100,000 worth of violations. Frivolous, stupidity. And he wrote him up. And I told him I'm going to beat him. And I got angry with him. I don't really get angry
Shocker.
at him. And,
No,
and
never.
I warned him. And I
Completely
told him,
regulating
It's hard to
your
believe,
emotions.
huh?
Yeah.
and I told him, you're never coming into this building again. I'm going to use the code. I'm never going to be nice to you again. And he said to me, I don't care. I'm not going to be nice to you again. And we went to court, and we fought each other out in court, and we beat him. We beat him bad. Wait, gets better. At the end of the court case, I wasn't sure. Remember, we don't get our decisions for a day or two, and some of these judges are stupid. They can rule just stupidity against us. So I said, Judge, I want to make one final defense. I said, according to the rules, you must serve us. You must serve us, called service. Now, if you can't find us, you have a right to post this violation or service
newspaper.
on the wall. No.
Okay.
It's a new stupid rule. They post it on the wall. But you
Okay.
have to make an attempt. You have to knock on the door, ring the bell, and so on. The guy at court, I said, did you make attempt for service? He says, yeah, I knocked on the door. I said, it's an apartment building. I said, don't you know that I'm involved with this building? He says, yes. I said, you don't call me Harold. You call me Heshy. You, inspector, actually know my Heshy name. I said, so you know who I am. Whenever you needed to get in someplace, did you know where my telephone number was? You call me on my private number. We've been doing this for 7 years. So you know how to reach me, you know how to serve me, and you know I'm 15 minutes away whenever you call me. I said, do you know that I'm associated with this building? He said, yeah, but I couldn't find you. I said, now you're lying. If you're lying to the judge, that's called perjury, even on administrative stuff. I said, Judge, here's a guy that for 7 years picks up the phone, calls me constantly, that I've met 150 different inspections.
Calling you on your cell phone is not part of service, though. It's
I know
either,
that-
it's
no,
either
he
they
does
serve you by
service.
process
He-
server
no,
or
no, no, no.
certified and
He-
regular mail.
He calls me to come over. He calls me to come over and he gives me the violation instead of posting it on the wall, or he shows me the issue, or he asks to get
I mean,
in.
you would think he would call you and just give you the courtesy
Right.
if
Yeah.
you
Right.
had this
Courtesy is
relationship.
one thing, but
he
is it a
he
legal
didn't want-
requirement?
But
No.
no, it's not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you know that you cannot serve the building owner, and you know how to reach him, and he'll be there. Like for example, if it says owner's apartment or super's apartment, you have to ring his bell. You have to ring his bell to come down and make an attempt. It's called in service to make.
Listen,
an
Heshy,
attempt.
these are nice rules, but we have squatters living
So I'm
in
going to get
people's
to that
house.
next. I'm going to get to that next. So this guy did not do it. So I said, Judge, he could have had me come there. He didn't because he knew I would come. He knew I would accept service, and he knew that I would beat him right there. And I also show him that he didn't get into the building, and he's lying about half of the violations. The judge dismissed all the cases right across the board, every single case, and the answer on the bottom was service.
So I wonder how many
nothing
$5
else.
bills he gave up on that day.
So it wasn't that, but even the judge has to follow code and rule to some extent. Remember, it's all
Sure.
recorded now. We're recording it. So when he bumped into my partner on another job, he says, I'm going to get this Heshy. He's a liar. He went after me real bad. So when I bump into him now, I don't even want to meet him anymore. I don't want him to come into inspections. He called me one day. The next day he called me. He says, you better come to this inspection. I said, I'm not coming. You said you don't know my number. I said, it's an exterior inspection. You don't need me. I have cameras. If you lie, I'm gonna call you in again as perjury. And he did the inspection. He passed. Yesterday, he showed up at one of the jobs. This poor man has been out of his house for 3 years. He's been trying to build it for 8 years. Finally, I fixed every problem in that building. There's no way he can't get in. There was 3 different units that shut this guy down. I passed 2. I showed it to the inspector when he got there. I said, everything is in compliance. I don't care what the other unit said. So we went through this building. When he showed up, my partner said, don't let him in. Heshy, you and him are fighting. I let him into the building because my ego was so big. Okay, I haven't failed an inspection in 10 years.
This is when things go bad.
Right. And the owner said, please, Heshy, don't let him in, this old man. Please, Heshy, please. Well, wait. I said, it's another month. I let him in. And on video, I videotaped him the whole time. He started right away. You know, you talk big. You're no good. I know you try to run for... I mean, he was just went... And then he says about lying and about the... And then every single... He looked at the plans. He looked at the screws, the beams, the floors. I mean, I have everything perfect. I am perfect. But he was able to find some minor defects in some of the stuff because nothing is perfect, especially when somebody's out of his building for 3 years. You can't be perfect. We finished a 10-minute inspection, finished an hour and a half later. He even, during the inspection, he found something to help me. I couldn't believe it. When we walked out of the building, he says, I'm not giving you an answer for 2 days, which he had to give me an answer the same day or a recommendation. He says, you should see the notes that he made. We were dead. The owner said, Heshy, you're dead. I said, what's the worst case scenario? He gives me like 30 objections. I'll fix it. Another month later, we'll come back. It's all paper. The building is perfect. We checked the computer every hour. I was very depressed. I told everybody I finally failed an inspection, a stupid, easy one.
You popped your cherry. There it is.
At 7:30 at night, as I was ready to leave, I said, you know what, for the hell of it, I'm going to click the computer again. He passed me. Honor and good deeds is most important. Even though this guy didn't like me and we fought each other and we will argue and we'll do battle, I respect him now because most of the inspectors are not like him, but I remember we have dealt together for 7 years. And he knows, and I felt something, even though he didn't like me, which he did like me, I feel, I believe honor is more important than when I see a man that's honorable, even if he doesn't like me and I don't like him, that's what a good deed is. I don't like this inspector.
Did you call him to thank him?
I'm not allowed to do that, you know that, even though I have his personal number, and I was thinking about it, but I said no. I don't do that. I don't bribe my inspectors. Everybody knows.
You're not allowed to say thank you for the inspection?
You can say thank you at the time, but to call him up afterwards, he did his job. He did a good deed, but he did it the right way. And he knows that even though he cursed me out the whole time, you should see how he was insulting me during the inspection. But the point is, an honorable man, he can have his personal feelings, but he did not use his personal feelings against a job, and he especially knows when I'm offending something. A judge came into me on Friday, by the way, and I didn't want to help her. One of your judges, a real judge in the housing court.
Why is it one of my judges?
I was going to say, what does that mean, one of her judges?
She's a lawyer. She stands in front of the judges all day
All
long.
judges are lawyers.
Yeah, but it's not administrative law. She does real law, okay? And we're going to talk about her I'm joking.
Why don't we do some
Right
commercials?
there.
Gruber, I know that. I was joking with you. So a judge came in that I've stood before many times. And I told her, can I help you? She said, I'm in trouble, Heshy, with my house. Let me help you. I said, no.
Nicole?
I said, I'm not helping you, Judge. He says, why? He says, because, you're supposed to be in the courtroom at 9 o'clock. It's now 10:30. You're going to have people waiting for you. I said, plus every time I stand in front of you, you're not right. I didn't want to help her. She says, no, everybody told me you have to help me. This is not business. I said, this is business. I only work with people that I like. At the end of the day, I told her to take out a checkbook, and I did help her.
She explained this to me. So you're running for city council.
That's right.
You're looking to serve all of the people in the district.
Correct.
How can you only work with people that you like?
The people, not the...
So what happens if you become the city councilman? You don't pick and choose.
I don't
You have
pick
to work with everyone.
but the people I serve, the people, I'm talking about the politicians and the people in charge.
No, but when you're the
or people-
councilman, you're not going to be the councilman for the people you like or Jewish people
it's the
or
people
only
of
the
the
north
city.
side
You're
of
the
the
councilman of
district.
everyone.
My
You have to be
city
the councilman
people.
for
When
that
I'm
area.
When I'm talking about people I don't like is business people that mistreat the little people, inspectors, government agencies, commissioners, mayors, deputy mayors, the people who are in power who abuse us little people.
Well, I'm going to
Of
tell
course-
you, I'm going to be preparing you for this right now, Heshy. When you run constituent services, you're going to have a lot of people that come in there screaming and yelling,
And they do now. I have constituent services.
and
in my office.
you're not going to like it.
What, you think people don't insult me in the hospital? Hey, you didn't bring me an extra blanket. Hey, fat guy, what, you can't walk up and down the steps and get me another suit? I swear to you, you should see how they insult me, and I keep my mouth shut. And in the soup kitchen, you think people don't throw food at me? Oh, this is disgusting what you served us. And I keep my mouth shut. Because I know they're special, I know they need help. But when you have a guy like the mayor who laughs at you and he asks you for a favor, or the chairman of the Republican committee that lies to you, that is bad stuff. That is bad stuff. Or when you have a politician that tells you he's going to do something and then he lies to you and he screws the community, or he doesn't bring money in. I mean, you have Carmen Yeager that has $5 million discretionary fund.
As all councilmen.
As all councilmen.
To be clear.
And it has to be used correctly. And you know that he gave over $100,000 to the lesbian and gay people?
Oh, here we go again.
But there's no lesbian and gay people in Borough Park.
Are you out of your mind?
So there's 150,000 people, give or take.
Are you serious?
There's no
You don't
gay
think there's
people?
a single gay or
First of all,
lesbian
first of all,
person in
wait,
Borough Park?
There is, but not open organizations of lesbian and gay. He gives it to organizations that are not involved in our
Listen,
community.
There are
That
people that
money-
leave the religion because they're
I know that,
gay
but
or
that
lesbian.
money
What are you talking about?
belongs in my community. Do you know that?
It is
Hold
in
on.
your
Do
community,
you know
so there
we
are no
have-
gays
do
in
you-
your community?
There is, but there's no organization.
So
for
they
the
don't
gays.
deserve services
They
or
do,
money?
but there's no services here for the lesbian.
Well,
and
maybe
gays.
you should make some.
So fine, then you give the money, but don't give money to lesbian and gays of another community and think that it's worth over here.
Well, first of all, Heshy, let's think about this realistically. If I had a lesbian and gay organization helping people, I don't know, with addiction issues and they were LGBT, what's the chances anybody would rent to them in Borough Park? Let's be realistic here now.
Nicole knows we have lesbian and gay people that have issues.
A second ago, you said there were none of them in your community.
You said a couple of minutes
You
ago.
either have them or you don't, Heshy.
There's no organization here.
Yeah, because first of all, nobody would probably rent to them. Let's be
We
realistic.
would. We have no problem. I would rent to the
Nicole,
lesbian
back
and
me up
gay.
here.
I have no problem with lesbian and gay people.
I don't know.
No, you have said
I
on
don't know. You've said on the air that they shouldn't run for Congress.
That's
they
correct.
don't belong here.
Right. I'm not saying they should die, just that they shouldn't be part of
They shouldn't be part of the community. They shouldn't die, but they can't run for government. Apparently, they can't get funding. They shouldn't have organizations. They can't, and they're not part of the community.
They shouldn't get married.
I'm old
They
enough.
can't get married.
I'm
What
old
else?
enough.
They have organizations.
Heshy,
They need
I'm
help.
old.
They have mental problems. They should have mental help.
They have mental problems because they're gay?
Yeah, all gay people have mental
No,
problems.
I
Boy
don't
by
believe- I don't
boy,
believe
come
that.
on.
I don't believe that.
Come on, man.
You can't be a lesbian and gay if you
Listen,
know.
I had a family relative who, from
I
12
also
years
have
old,
family, okay,
we knew he was gay.
Okay,
That's crazy.
I also have a family, not me, I don't have a family member, but I have a cousin, family, whatever, that's gay, and he's nuts.
Why? Because he's gay?
He's gay?
Yeah.
No, that's not
I
acceptable
think
answer.
some men are nuts for the women they choose. That's the
Okay, that I agree. But anyways, we're going to skip the lesbian and gay thing because I think I could get in trouble, and I like the gay
think?
community. I like the gay community as long as my children,
know,
as long
they're-
as my family's not part of it.
I don't know if they're feeling the love, man.
I
don't know.
guarantee.
If we have any
somewhere-
gay listeners, would you please call in?
No.
Sarah, somewhere in your family, you have somebody gay, and they're in the closet. I guarantee that.
Sure they are.
We're gonna get to our commercials in a second, but I just want to tell you
Look
something.
how quickly he wants to change the
besides
subject.
besides that, I won this. I couldn't believe it. My two sons, each one is having a grandchild.
What happened with the bet?
So one minute, it's going to happen. It's going to be a boy. The baby's not born yet. So we're going to have a baby any day, and you're all going to be invited to this big bris. I'm telling you, it's a boy. Then the next one is going to have a baby. I'm going to have another boy. We're going to make another bris. And here's the cool part: my son Jacob, is going out with this beautiful girl, beautiful, gorgeous girl, really, very nice. I'm so pleased. She doesn't wear lipstick, but okay, we're going to work on that. But she should, because my son needs lipstick. He said he doesn't.
What does he need lipstick for?
Women have to wear lipstick.
You know, the problem with wearing lipstick when you're dating is that it's a telltale sign that he's been kissed. Maybe he doesn't want you to know.
We don't kiss on a date. We're religious. You have to look. When I go to a wedding with Linda, she puts on lipstick. She won't kiss me because the lipstick is coming off.
Right.
It's stupid.
That's
you
the problem.
wear
It's a
lipstick that we
deterrent.
want you to kiss us, but you don't kiss us because it might come off. It's stupid.
It's messy.
Don't give a damn. I'm gonna, kiss my woman.
You are.
That's it. That's right.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're Greek.
That's how you should think.
He's Greek. He doesn't know better.
No, the
we're
Greeks,
we're
listen,
lovers,
they're
not
the
fighters.
best lovers around. They're the ones that taught us all our tricks. What do you mean?
Us Jews are fighters. Linda puts
That's
on the
the same.
lipstick. Don't come near me.
Actually, Jews are pretty damn good lovers too, if I say so myself.
Stop.
But okay.
Anyways, so Yaakov is going out with this pretty girl, and I'm arguing with Yaakov. He wants to be engaged and married already before the summer. I said, no way.
He's been on like 12 dates.
Right.
Sure.
No, how many dates
You guys
has he
get
been-
engaged after like the third date. It's
How many
supposed to
dates
be.
has he been on, realistically?
Yeah.
I think it's day 12 now.
That's a lot for the Orthodox community.
So
that's a
So I
lot.
have no problem. We're going to go.
And how-
back.
and how old is he?
He's 23, and
Oh, my God.
Late,
and
late,
the girl
man.
is 20, and they're blackmailing me into.
They could have had 3 kids already. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Stop.
behind the eight ball.
So right, so they're getting crazy, and they want to have an engagement tomorrow. They're going to get married in July. I said, listen to me, babies. You're going to get engaged when I tell you, and you're going to get married when I tell you. He says,
You wanna be in the bedroom
he
too?
says,
Like, why? Why?
He says, I don't need you. I
Are
said,
you going to
okay.
be in the bedroom carrying a
Stop
flashlight?
it. Now you're talking crazy. They're talking crazy.
Well, why do they have to get engaged and married when you say? What's up with
Because
that?
it's my money. So he
Oh,
tells
no.
me. So he tells me they want a small wedding. I said, okay, no problem. You have 10, 15 people. Because I want to bring 500
Just
people.
for the record here, I can marry you and I'll do it for free.
Okay, so I have 500.
Yaakov, did you hear that?
I have
You hear that,
500
Yaakov?
I have 500 people, and I want to invite the whole community as well, which might be more.
We can do it in the backyard, no worries.
So, and the other family has people too. So I told Yaakov, listen, if you're going to do a wedding in 3 weeks, I only have 15 people. I'll give you $500, and I'll pay you, for 3 people you let me bring to your wedding. And I said, trust me.
$35, I think the license is, and that's it.
All I know is his wife, his future wife.
I'll be the witness if you have to sign the certificate.
I know that his future wife is not going to let him get away with a small wedding. He's in dreamland. Oh yeah, we don't need a ring. Save the money on a ring and give it to me for rent. I said, are you crazy? That girl wants a ring.
The girl definitely wants a ring.
And a bracelet.
Any woman that tells you she doesn't want a ring is lying.
That's what
She's
I
lying.
said. I'm lying. I know that. So
If she's saying she doesn't want a ring, she meant to say she wants a 2-carat ring.
Exactly.
So
the ones that tell you they don't care, they care a lot, and they know
so-
they have a picture of the ring
So
that
I
they
have
want.
I have a client in very, very big trouble. And I asked him today, I said, because I thought he was a developer, I said to him, do you know where I can get a cheaper ring, because they cost so much money?
Ew.
And he says to me, Heshy, I work on 47th Street.
The Diamond District?
He says, I'm a diamond dealer. I said, no way. He says, yeah. Come. I said, I only see you in construction site. He says, yeah, we invest our money on the side, me and my partner. And come down and I'll take good care of you. There's these special diamonds with the things. And I said, okay, I'm sending my son down there. I said, give me a discount. He said, I'm not giving you a discount. You never give me a discount. I said, sure, I'm going to reduce my fees a little bit for you. But I save his butt all the time.
Why don't we do an ad? Why don't we do
We're
the
gonna do,
ad?
but I just want you to know I'm going to make a big engagement party either a week from this Sunday or 2 weeks from this Sunday, and you're all going to be invited. All my listeners are all invited, and the wedding is going to make a big splash because me and George, just so your knowledge, I'm telling you again. I mean, my in-laws that I met, this nice couple that are my future daughter-in-law's parents. So I tried to pitch the idea of the amusement park thing. It's not really going over well.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. And by the way, a week from this Sunday, just for all your non-Jewish listeners, I'm pretty sure it's Easter, is it not?
It is Catholic
You may-
Easter
yeah, you
or
don't wanna-
So
Protestant
then I'm
Easter.
sorry.
Yeah,
Then
you may
I'm-
not want to. That's a holiday for
Well,
for non-Jews.
I'll be there because I'm Greek, so we celebrate May
Right,
5th
right,
this year.
But either way, so I'll do it for 2 weeks. But these kids are so crazy. They want the engagement tomorrow. It's stupid. Anyways, so I'm going to invite all of you. It's going to be a great buffet-style meal. I'm going to have a lot of liquor there, and we're going to have a good time.
He's going to have Blue Label, I heard.
Every table's going to have Blue Label. Every table's
That's the
gonna have
good stuff.
That's very good stuff. Even though some of the fancy drinkers don't have it. Let's do a commercial. What do you got over there for us, Nicole?
So we have Green Line building compliance in light of the story you told earlier.
Ah, you see, she remembered. You see how great I am?
Exactly.
Thank you,
You
Nicole.
see that good. He beats
humility,
them all
the
the time.
humility.
202 Foster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Give
Did
them
you
a
say
call.
Foster?
Foster.
I hate when you say Foster.
Foster.
Foster. That's it. Say it like a Brooklyn girl.
202
baby.
Foster Avenue. 718-871-0382. I don't say it as sexy as Heshy does, but I do my best.
I love you.
We're working it out.
718-871-0382.
That's
202
it.
Foster Avenue. We help you with your licenses, your building department, your violations, your architectural plans, your compliance, your court cases. You come down, my babies. I'll take good care of you. And just come down and I'll take good. And I even have a parking lot in the back. 718-871-0382. My partner is really not a nice guy, but I'll take care of him for you. Anyways, 202 Foster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. And of course, we have Wittengruber Luba. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Weitengruber Law. This is where my girl Nicole works, and she does real estate, bankruptcy law, all kinds of law. But this is where she's a specialist in. She's very good. If you have a problem, call her. Come down. She's very, very good at what she does, and I love her for what she does. She helps people. It's the cornerstone of financial justice. George Weitengruber, he's also there, right?
He is.
Okay, he's a very good guy. So Weitengruber Law, the cornerstone of financial justice, 1720 NJ 34, Wall Township, New Jersey, 07727. Again, 1720 NJ 34, Wall Township, New Jersey. Her phone number is 732-695-3303. 732-695-3303. Tell them you heard it on the Just Enough Heshy show. I'm sure she'll give you a break and discount.
That'll be fun. Yeah, we serve New York and New Jersey.
Oh,
so
yeah, I
give us a
forgot
call
that. New
anytime.
York, New Jersey.
And finally, let's not forget to mention Crossroads. Don't hesitate to get the help you need in this day and age. There's no shame in it.
If you're lesbian and gay, call them. That was a joke. That was
I
a
did
stupid
not
joke.
say that, but
That
if
was
you
a
do,
joke.
if
I'm
you do
kidding
have
you. I'm
issues like
kidding.
depression, anxiety,
Postpartum
addiction,
depression.
postpartum depression, go get the help you need. The phone number is 609-645-2146. They're good people, and they'll take care of you.
Where they're located.
Oh, the Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey.
Very good. I really like Crossroads. They're good to you. They're very solid people.
Oh, and by the way, if you want to call the show, 646-974-1580.
Right. And then, of course, we have our favorite commercial,
Bum, 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 bum.
HeshyTishler.com. Guys, donate. I'm close, baby. I'm close.
He's
Yeah,
close to maxing out.
Right. And June 21, Carmen Yeager will win his position as assembly. And the mayor
Well, there's
will,
no guarantees. Don't say that.
He's pretty much in. You know that.
He's running.
He has
Anything can happen.
everybody's there behind him.
Listen,
has
he could
all-
be caught in. No, I don't want to say that, but he could be caught with two hookers dead in the room somewhere. You never know. There's no guarantees
If
in
he's
LA.
that
Oh, dear
stupid,
Lord.
and you know
They've
what?
been
By the
that
way-
stupid before. That's pretty common.
By the way, I'm just kidding here. It's a joke. But you never know in elections what could
I know
happen.
that people
you know?
are making prank phone calls to me every day and night to try to get me. And sometimes I get crazy and I say something.
Oh, no.
They're trying to look. I know.
Well, anyway, just before we get into that, HeshyTischler.com. You can contribute to Heshy. And for every $1 you give, $8 is matched by the city and state.
Besides that, you can check out my videos. You can check out my platform. You know, I want to tell you something.
Yep.
You know, we have a $110 billion budget, not $1 million budget. And you're going to see the DOT, these idiot losers, are spending $1 million of our money to tell us how to drive our bicycles safely. Are you stupid? Really? Really? That's what you're spending $1 million on?
Well, can I just tell you that 2 years ago I lost a cousin who was on an e-bike and got hit by a bus.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's...
I mean, this safety thing doesn't help with a commercial.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of people that, it wouldn't be me, but there's a lot of people that use biking to get around the city.
Why don't you spend money to teach people how to drive their cars or buses?
They do
Because
that.
people
They do
can't
that.
afford cars.
First of all, a lot of people, they do that. There's, there's, what do you call it, advertising all the time on television.
Yeah.
And on the trains,
on
about
the trains.
slowing down and work zones.
And don't be on your cell phone while you're in a car driving. I mean, there's plenty of advertising. So,
Well, all I know is I'm going to help cut that budget down. You know, there's $11 billion for the migrants, all in New York. Now, with the mayor suing these buses, so they stopped bringing in migrants from Texas.
Okay.
I want to take this $11 billion that New York is using from my tax money,
And
from
do what
my
with it?
budget. What I want to do is take these 170,000 migrants and keep for myself 10%, 17,000 of them.
Okay.
The other 90% of them ship around to Saratoga, to
Upstate New York.
especially to Albany, right in front of that.
I don't know if that's legal because New York is a sanctuary city. So I don't know if we can,
But
offload
there's no
the
place
problem.
to put them. There's no place to put them. And we can keep out of that $11 billion, $10 billion to put back into the homeless issues. I mean, it's not fair for them to, they're not coming to New York City as a sanctuary city.
I would like social services to work with them instead of trying to just figure out how much more free stuff we can give them. Hey,
Well,
you're
right.
here
You
in
know-
New
you know,
York.
there's
What's
a-
your
you-
plan?
I was gonna say,
you know,
I'm kind of with George on this. Here's
Really?
the thing: is the way
You know
even the
why
way
you're-
that
you
we
know why
talk
you're
about
happy
them.
about it? Because the New York City controller says that the Big Apple should give every migrant a free attorney.
Hold on.
First of all,
I
I
want to
mean,
hear what
I-
Nicole
I
has
was
to say on this.
Considering I've never been a migrant, there's nothing for me to gain or
No,
be
no,
happy
I'm
about.
saying-
But
no, because you're a lawyer, now you're going to get paid for this.
Hold on a
no,
second.
actually, free attorneys get paid the least out of everybody. But sure. The way that we talk about this, even the way we say it, we'll keep 17,000 of them and we'll ship them this way, as if it's some sort of stock that we can, divide and divvy up and break up. If you give them an incentive, they came here presumably, for better prospects. If you give them an incentive to pursue those better prospects, and that's not a handout. There's a difference between a handout and a hand up. If you give them an incentive, you don't just ship them off forcefully to upstate. If you say, hey, I will incentivize you to go up there. If you want a job, there's this job available, but you have to work, and that's how you would keep your subsidies or whatever. There's this available to you in Albany or in
again,
Manans or wherever.
Why should they be on the street? There's
They're
a
not.
street,
If you're incentivizing them
well,
to
their
work,
kids shouldn't
right?
be on the street selling
You
candy.
need to
Forget candy.
incentivize them to
There's-
work instead of just saying, I'm going to forcefully ship you up to Albany. Okay, so you
No,
ship them to
but
Albany, and
over
then
there-
what?
over
Then they're
there-
on the street in
over there
Albany?
you can give them here you can't give them a job.
Why do you assume you can give them a job over there? Have you seen Albany?
I know, but you can give them a job in Saratoga.
There's not enough jobs in Albany. I hate to
Absolutely
tell you.
not.
There's more housing. At least put them in buildings.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a lot of these vacant buildings all over the place there.
If you took New York City out of New York State, right, the growth in our state would be negative.
Right.
The only growth is really coming from the city.
I was going to say, the upstate
Upstate
New York
is
is
not
kind of
so-
depressed in some cases.
But right, so fix that up by sending them up there to work.
To do what,
I
though?
was walking on a street where there was a bunch of migrants that were homeless in the street, and I couldn't walk on the sidewalk. And as I'm walking, they were like asking for money and cigarettes, like tolls. And if I didn't give them, they were like continuing to block me. I'd have to walk in the street. A lot of people, when they were walking on the sidewalk, they walked into the street. This is unacceptable in the
It
city
is
of New York.
unacceptable. What I'm
But-
saying is you don't forcefully ship a group of people everywhere like there's some divisible stock. you give them an incentive.
No, because if some of them get very smart, you know, there's a lady in Queens that her house was vacant, and she grew up in the house, and her parents died, and she was still looking to sell it.
Okay.
A couple of these migrants figured out the law that if they become squatters, they take over the house.
I think it's 30 days, no?
30 days. Somehow they got in there. She got changed the locks. They called the cops, and the cops arrested the lady.
Can you imagine you go on as a family on a long vacation? You saved up all your money. You go on this once in a lifetime vacation, and you come back. I'm just thinking
And she saw them
hypothetically.
there.
And you have squatters in the house.
She saw them there. And it's not like they changed the furniture. All her furniture was like a regular operating house.
They just let themselves
They just
into
let
her house?
themselves in. And she changed, they broke the locks. And these guys knew the law so well that they called it. And the guy says, hey, I fixed up this house. I put money into it. If she gives me the money, I leave. I mean, that was it. And they actually took her away in cuffs. She said, this is my house. I am here.
It's Dr. Zhivago stuff.
How long was she gone?
She was gone for, like, she said, maybe a couple of weeks. They weren't even there 30 days, but somehow they got paperwork and something mailed to them, and that's it. They were done. And this is the stupid line. If you try to evict them, they said, yeah, go to court. Evict us. But they know that it takes 2 years to evict anybody.
There's no process for an emergency?
No. Once you become a squatter, you're a tenant, and it takes 30 days. You have to serve
You're
a
not
90
a tenant.
days.
No.
Squatters,
Squatters are not tenants.
After
That's
30,
that's why they're called squatters.
After 30 days, they become the tenant.
They're not tenants. Tenants pay rent. Tenants pay
a lot
something.
of tenants don't pay. That's the problem.
And they're not tenants. That's not a legal
When they-
tenant
when-
relationship.
they- what
They're
they
not
do-
tenants.
A lot of people trick you. They pay the rent because you're not allowed to check the history anymore.
So let me recap here. So if I broke into your house, lived there, I'd be busted. You know, slept there the night. I'd be busted for breaking and entering.
Correct.
Right.
If I managed to pull it off and stay there for 31 days, I can live there free for 2 years.
Well, you have to get some kind of a mail. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can mail a postcard to myself.
Correct. And again, I had a guy who bought a building in Bushwick. Fired, decrepit, broken down building. You couldn't live there. He cleaned it all up. He boarded it up. He was ready to fix it up. He filed plans. City of New York, it takes forever to get a set of plans approved. Italian boy. He comes there, and there's the water shut off from the street, the electricity shut off. He's trying to make the building safe because he can't go over there, board it up. We go back there to sketch the building, and I come there and I say to him, John, you know that there are people living in the building? He says, no, it can't be. I boarded it up. I sealed it all up. I said, no, there are people living here. I said, there's water and electricity. He said, really? How's that possible? These people dug up the street, connected the building water connected a pipe to the building water so they should have their toilets.
Isn't that illegal, though?
Correct. If you did it and I did it. These people did it illegally and they didn't get arrested. They hooked wires into the main poles and got electricity. And you couldn't touch
And that's
it.
not theft of services?
It is. And nobody did anything. The cops didn't do anything. Nobody said anything to them. So we had to go through the whole eviction process. We evicted them. It took us a year to get them out. You know what happened?
And they can do a lot of damage in the meantime.
They did. And then you know what happened? We sealed up the building tight and solid. And my idiot guy, I forgot about it. My idiot guy thought, hey, they're out, right? We evicted them. He let it go. They broke back in. They did it again. We had to go through the whole process again.
I mean, he was better off having a relative just stay there for free and just
Right.
watch the
But you
place.
can't do that. The building is decrepit and broken up, and there's no
So it's
heat
condemned?
there. It's not condemned, but it's like it's like
It's not for
Right,
humans to live in.
I used to do that when I was building buildings because people broke in and stole material and stuff. So we used to have a night watchman there. And we put like a little room for him with heaters, but still it was like living like a dog. You know, it's like living in the street, and you can't live in that place. You're not really living in. So that's why we had to pay these night watchmen a lot of money to sit there to protect the building, because if not, these squatters come in or robbers come in and they rob your appliances or buildings or everything that's stored there. So very careful. Anyways, I want to ask you a question. Here's my question on Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
Mr. Trump is a billionaire. There's nobody has $1 billion on cash except
I
if
mean,
you
it sounds like he's going broke with all the lawsuits.
So,
For sure.
so Letitia James, I mean, I think Trump is smart, is now saying since you didn't come up with the bond, now he should have time to come up with the bond.
Why? He's a millionaire, isn't he?
So I have a question for you. He's appealing the case.
Well, he's not. I mean, no one has $500 million,
Right.
Just sitting there, sitting in TD
right,
Bank.
Right. So she says that he doesn't have the bond, so we're going to take away your building. I think she should take the building till she sells it. Nobody's buying a building like that overnight.
Right.
So it's going to take years for her to sell the building.
Sure.
So till that happens, Trump most probably will win the case anyways. I think that's a brilliant idea.
I'm actually surprised you would say that.
Wait, and Trump's going to be okay with that?
They can't throw him out of the building. All she's doing is taking possession of the deed, and she's going to try to sell it.
Yeah, she becomes the owner.
And nobody can.
But what, can she push everybody out?
No, she can't. First of all, she'd have to go through the same procedure, and she steals the building.
Hold on, are they corporate tenants or are they
doesn't
residential?
make a difference.
Yes,
Doesn't make a difference. No, because when you sell a building, you have to tell them that you're selling it vacant or not. You have to evict the tenants or give them notices to leave, and if they don't leave, you have to start eviction procedure.
And what happens to the monthly rents? Where do they go?
So the monthly rents or maintenances, that is the only thing she can do, but there's a managing agent in place. So she can't stop the use of the building, but she can take the profits of the building.
Right.
So if she takes possession
Satisfy
of
what
the
he
building,
owes.
but even then, she can't take the profits till she fights for that. She's taking possession of the worth of the building, so she's not taking possession of the business. It's under a separate LLC. So she can't even get the money till she goes back to court and sues to put that on hold.
Okay, so let her take
she
the
gets a
building.
writ, yeah.
So that's what Trump says. Go ahead, take the building till you sell it. But here's my question for you. Say Trump comes up with the money and pays this lady, and he wins the appeal.
Right, then she has to give back the building.
And what? No, she gives back the. He gave.
She gives back the money. No, that's the way I understand.
But what happens if she spends some of the money? She can't give it back,
She'd have to come up with it.
and she can't.
What do you mean? The
do you mean
state
she
would have to
can't?
come up with it.
It's probably going to
would
be
come
held
up
in.
with it?
I mean, while this plays out, it's more likely this is going to be held in escrow.
Yeah, this is not money.
This is not money she gets to spend.
But if he didn't give it in escrow, he wouldn't have to pay interest and stuff like that. So if he would have just paid and said, listen, when I win the case, you have to give it back. I say that the court should have said, hey, man, he won the case, but it should be on hold till the appeal is pended or done. It's not fair that they're making him put up a bond or give it now. You should wait till
Why
the
isn't
appeal.
it fair?
That's what the appeal means.
Well, the number. Hold on a second. What's the damages? The money?
Isn't it like 434 million? Something.
Yeah, but that's not the
crazy?
damages.
It was
Deutsche Bank.
350.
Hold on. Deutsche Bank is saying there's no damages. We got paid in full.
And the money's not going to anybody but the state. Letitia James is taking the money
So-
from New York.
And the amount that they want for this appeal is unheard of. There's never
What
been
do they want for the appeal?
like four. I mean,
With interest, it's another $100 million, $80 million. The point is an appeal means if you had to give it to the person that was hurt, I understand.
Yeah, but the
money's
appeal
going
doesn't freeze the process. That's the thing. Is like
It should.
but it
It
doesn't.
should.
That's not how that works. Because think about it.
If you get convicted of a crime, you're able to stay out of jail pending the appeal. Most
No,
of the
you
time.
don't.
Sure, most of the time.
No, you're
They let
thinking
you
of bail, and that's
bail.
until you get to trial. But if you're convicted at trial, then guess what? You go to jail while you appeal.
No. They let you sometimes stay out of jail.
Who do they let stay out of jail?
Everybody. You're allowed to stay out as long as there's a bond. Most of these criminals, you don't know, stay out of jail during
Have you heard of
pending the
this?
appeal.
well, it's called bail reform.
Right. They stay out of jail.
But that's
based on
right.
that's
That's
why-
the initial trial before you're convicted. Once
No.
you're convicted, you sit out while you appeal
you
this.
tell the judge I want to appeal within 30 days. The judge says, yeah, you can stay
Yeah,
out
but a
during
lot
the
of these
appeal.
people, hold on, they get a public defender. They don't appeal. They have no money. So
They have no money.
So they're going to go to jail.
Right,
So
most,
that's the
most
part.
people do go to jail during their appeal
You know
process.
how many people rot in prison waiting on an appeal?
Right.
People have died waiting on an
And
appeal.
that's not fair. It's not fair.
You sound very liberal there. Ashley.
Not liberal, not liberal. I'm telling you that the system is screwed up both ways, and I'm unhappy about it.
So Heshy, you have a fan here.
Who?
I hope I don't butcher this, but it's Bifer the Hobbit.
Oh.
Bifer, whoever you are. He says you're the man.
I see. He's smart. He's very smart. I want to ask you another.
Must be a
question.
patient at Crossroads.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to talk that. I want to talk about Schumer. Here's a wacko, loser, retard. Can I please say bad names about him?
Ooh.
No, isn't he a paisan?
He's not a paisan. He's a Jew. We have a lot of Jews who are capo haters. And Mr. Pig over there, okay, just for your knowledge,
Mr. Pig, boy.
he gets.
How could he be a kid?
He
Pig.
doesn't have enough issues in the city of New York. Okay, he has no. I don't know what happened to our Instagram. I feel so bad. Oh gosh.
Probably kicked you off for your
Yeah,
language.
Yeah, I know. Must have been that way. Oh, here we go. We're starting it up again. Anyways, so Mr. Schumer, who's a Jew, self-hating
Pumbaa.
Jew.
It's Mr. Pig.
Well, all I know is he gets on to the television and he says, Israel should get a new president.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
What kind of stupidity is it? He can't even control America. He's busy with Israel elections.
You know, here's what cracks me up about that comment in particular. We take such umbrage with Russia or China or any other country interfering with our elections, right? And they shouldn't. No country should interfere with any other country's elections. It's not your business. Stay the hell out of it. So for somebody here in the States, we're already struggling with other autonomous countries interfering with us and our electoral
but we've
process.
done this. We've done this since World War II.
For anybody in our government to sit here and make commentary about the democratic process and the elections of another country, doesn't matter which country it is bogus.
We have done this since World War II. Costa
Doesn't
Rica,
make it
El
right.
Salvador,
Doesn't make it right.
Nicaragua, and the list goes on and on
So
and
then
on.
we have no business, lamenting over Russia meddling in our processes. We have no business.
I agree.
Let's stay consistent.
I'm more on the libertarian viewpoint on world policy, like foreign policy. I just don't think we should get involved in politics
especially
of countries overseas.
And Schumer, and here's my, you know what pisses me off?
Karen said Schumer is no showman.
Right, but I just want you to know something. Here's what Schumer is.
That's great.
We should have a 2-Palestinian state. We should have ceasefire. Here's my deal, Mr. Schumer. They kidnapped 200 people.
More than that.
Okay, whatever. They kidnapped more than 200 people. We got back a bunch of them. They still have 100 and something hostages.
Do you think they're still alive?
No. Forget what they're alive or not. They admitted that another 31 are dead. How do you have hostages that you, according to the law, Geneva Convention, every kind of law, you have to keep those hostages safe?
How many of those are American citizens?
6 or 10 or 12.
It started off, there were 11 to start.
And you
One of them just died. One of them was a 4-year-old. She got released. It died. And then there's 2 more.
And you never hear the
They're
president.
responsible to take care of that. The Vietnamese, when they captured our prisoners and they had them there for 3, 4, 5 years, even though they mistreated us, they kept us alive. I heard one lady, they locked her in a room and docked with no food. They're animals. And we want a ceasefire. We want to let them go
Well,
while they're
shocked.
murdering our hostages. It's not fair. How does this stupid world, how do you people out there even think that a ceasefire should exist to these animals that are killing hostages when they're supposed to protect them? So you have the world court saying that we're doing bad. I want them all dead. I want their families dead. I want their children dead. They're animals.
No,
They're animals.
come on.
They're animals. You're killing my hostages, my friends. I just want you to know, boys, you did kill one of my relatives, but it was a cousin. I wish I was there in Israel with a gun, because if I was powerful, I'm not. I'm just an older guy. I went to Gaza. But if they would have really given me a gun to go in there, I know I don't have the energy to do it, but I really dream in my dreams to take a machine gun and shoot those people down on the street.
So my understanding is that they're still having talks.
Why? They don't even want to give us back the dead
Well,
prisoners.
why is
Where are those dead bodies? They're rotting.
Hold on a
they
second.
are. I was thinking about that. I'm not sure where they're storing them.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's just a shame that our president of the United States doesn't even talk about the 5, 6, or 8 hostages, whatever is
And
left.
the president said that Schumer's speech was okay.
No.
That was you. Don't tell me he's your president. You're the one who likes him, and you know that they're wrong.
For the millionth time, it's not that I like him. It's that the alternative is so much worse.
So right now, you're telling me that Biden's doing it. Forget Trump. Let's say that Trump drops out. Do you still want Biden to run again?
No.
Okay.
What do you think of RFK?
Uh,
No, I'm asking her
Don't-
as a
don't
liberal.
reason-
I think he's a better choice than Biden, to be honest.
Right. Even though
So why
But
didn't the Democrats
he
go
married-
with him?
You know, he
Because he doesn't galvanize the base. I don't know why, but he just doesn't. It's unfortunate. Would I vote for him over Biden? Yes, probably.
Well, then you're going to vote Gavin Newsom in too.
Listen, like I said, I would vote the nearest pig over Trump.
Wow.
The fact that Trump is running is like the biggest nightmare there is.
Trump is going to win.
It's
this.
not that I like Biden. I really don't. I said he's like a flat soda. All right, that's really it's like going to your fridge and you're so excited over a refreshing drink and there's a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi that's been sitting there for 2 months and that's what you have.
So he's a
It's
flat,
a flat soda, straight up.
That's the
right?
greatest analogy ever.
But it is what it is, right? And there's a lot of Democrats that would admit that to you, but it's
I
still
wanna
better
tell
than
you-
the
So I
alternative.
want to tell you why the 2-state policy doesn't work between the Muslims and the Jews. In Los Angeles, there was a Jewish synagogue with 900 families that has a big piece of land. Got it?
Yeah.
Very nice, big synagogue, everything like that. They have a big one. They have a small little facility on the side.
dear, what did they do to it?
decided, the Jews, the rabbis and the board of directors, that we're going to rent out the main synagogue to a group of Muslims to do their prayers during Ramadan.
This had to
Really?
be a Reformed Jewish group.
Really?
Right.
This
They
was not a
gave-
conservative
They
group.
gave the synagogue to the Muslims. Wait, it gets
No,
better.
they didn't.
Wait, it gets worse.
They gave it or
What do
rented
you mean they
it?
gave it? They rented it out
They
to
gave it to them. They had a good deal, just so they can do interfaith,
Muslims.
right? To show good faith to the Muslims during Ramadan.
There's a word we have in Hebrew for that. Go on.
Now, in the synagogue, they have the pictures of all the hostage people that were kidnapped.
They ripped down the pictures.
Not pictures. The Jews themselves covered it with black so it shouldn't bother the Muslims during their prayers. It gets worse. While the Muslims were there, they came in right away. They brought in this very bad guy who preached that the Jews are Nazis, and in there, they were listening to them. And they put the Jewish people, instead of the big synagogue, small little side rooms to pray. Is this acceptable? There is a
word that we have for this in Hebrew.
So the two right.
It's called freier. Do you know what freier means? You're a sucker.
Right.
You're a sucker. Those are freierim. All right,
So
freierim are people that allow themselves to be overtaken.
I love.
Was this a vibrant? Just to give a little background, was this a vibrant temple with a lot of
900 families?
So it was active.
Very active.
It wasn't one of these temples,
and
maybe that.
And they have a lot of money. These people have a lot of money.
So then, what did they need the rental income for?
They wanted to show interfaith love.
Interfaith,
These are leftist Jews that also want a ceasefire. And that's the problem.
Okay. You should have led with that.
Well, no, because they had pictures of the hostages.
Who says God doesn't have a sense of humor?
It's always the people in power because the little people. So the two co-presidents had to leave, and they're redoing it, and they're evicting the Muslims. Again, I'm sure most of them weren't so bad, but again, allowing this to even happen. The imam allowed this to happen. I mean, it's like it doesn't work. And I love my Muslim brothers. I have a lot of Muslim brothers and friends over here that I work for. Most of them are good. The only problem is you always have a sicko there. You have to be careful, and you have to tell them, listen, I'm Jewish, you're Muslim, we have to be careful. Today we had Ramadan lunch in my office.
Okay.
So we try not to do lunch on Wednesday on Ramadan because we don't want our Muslim workers to feel bad.
Yeah.
So today they came over to us.
Are you doing this throughout Ramadan or just for Wednesdays?
Just for Ramadan. We always have lunch on Wednesdays for the staff. And we sit together, we joke around, we become all equal, even though I'm better than all of them, but it doesn't make a difference.
God.
Joke,
the humility.
I'm joking. I make jokes with them. I treat them as equals.
One of our 613 mitzvot is to be humble.
I am. No, but also you have to be unhumble.
As she was missing that day.
No.
Yeah, really.
Yeshiva.
So today we didn't want to have lunch, and the two Muslim workers come over to me with the habibis and all that stuff. What's it called? Hijabi?
Hijab.
Hijab.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Habibi is friend in Arabic.
She's very pretty. She's very nice. And she comes over, she says, Heshi, I don't want the whole staff to have. I said, but you can't because we all sit together. And she joined us to the meal. She didn't eat. And I felt so bad eating in front of her. She says, no, you guys enjoy. I'm going to eat tonight. And we ordered extra for her to take home with her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she joked with us, and I made fun of her and all the people.
That's the part that I'm sad about what's going on in Israel and the Palestine issue. Because here in New York, we live so well with each other.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Before
5 months ago.
But you just see it starting to break down even here in New York.
Well, here's the other thing.
That's the part that gets me sad.
I don't know how many Muslim countries you guys have had the privilege of visiting, but
have you been to any?
I have.
Which one?
I was in Islamabad.
Yeah, I studied.
I went to Islamabad in the center. They didn't let me wear my yarmulke. I wore a cap, but I went to a wedding in Islamabad.
Yeah, I studied abroad in Morocco for 6 months, and then in 2019 I got to go to Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Well, Dubai is no big deal.
That was before it was no big deal. Okay. I went before they opened it up, right? Like 2 years before they opened it up. And I went...
Israeli passport or American passport?
Always with the American passport, but the Israeli passport in my bag in case anything ever happened. Because not for nothing, with the 2 passports I have, if I were ever in trouble, I am not relying on America to save my ass. Israel will. Israel will come for me.
I understand that.
The IDF will come for me. The American Army will let me rot.
Were you born in Israel? Or
no, I was born in Queens, but anyone with dual citizenship has all the same. Once you have a passport, that's the end of it.
You're Israeli. She's a real Israeli.
So I always, when I travel, because it's easier to travel on the American passport because I don't need a visa.
By the way, your daughter is automatically Israeli.
Don't I know it? Because I don't need a visa, right, to as many places as I would on the Israeli passport. So traveling out of the U.S., I always travel on the American passport, but I take the Israeli passport with me in case I ever needed the consulate's help, right? And that's true for every Israeli abroad. But aside from that, we went during Ramadan. I went with my best friend. It was an amazing trip, once-in-a-lifetime thing. And we were there during Ramadan, and when I tell you, They don't give a damn what your religion is. Everything is closed. We starved right alongside the Muslims because you couldn't find food if you needed it. Everything was closed. The supermarkets are open. That's the only thing that's open. There's no ready-made food. It's only open so that you could buy ingredients to make your iftar, like your breakfast that happens at night, and that's it. You are not allowed to be at cafes. You are not allowed to eat in public. You are not allowed to enjoy a sandwich. Nothing is open. Like their religious laws in their country are what rule the roost. And you can go there and you're welcome. It's as a woman, one of the safest places I've ever traveled to.
I want to say goodbye to our WSNR listeners, WNEW, and WVP for whatever in Florida. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Come back next week. Join us. And don't forget, heshytishla.com. You can give a donation. They're gone.
There you go. Yeah. As a woman, one of the safest places I've ever been in was Dubai. Nobody looked at me. Nobody harassed me. Nobody followed me. The men.
No one gave you
nothing like that.
You didn't have to wear the hijabi?
I didn't have to wear hijab. I dressed very conservatively. I mean, I wore skirts all the way down to my ankles.
Shocking. You never do that
all
here.
The way down to my, please. Like, all the way down to my ankles, shirts.
What happens when you go to the beach there?
We didn't. There was none of that. We didn't go to the beach.
Is there a beach there?
Well, there's the Palm Island. There's that, that palm tree with the sand and everything. There's like a man-made beach.
And
you can go to the pool, but even like my bathing suits, I wore a one piece with like a very long sarong, just because I knew I was in a Muslim country. I'm a Jew in a Muslim country as it is. By itself, that's a risk, right? So the last thing I want to do is run afoul of whatever the local regulations are, whatever the local rules of society are. I'm not looking to stand out in a place like that because I'm more likely to get in trouble. So we were very conservative about it. But what stuck out to me was, in a Muslim country, you are expected as a guest to follow their rules, not them conforming to yours.
Right.
And it's interesting that Israel, which is a Jewish state, is expected to conform to everybody else. It's the one Jewish state in the world, but if they practice it and they call it that and they operate that way, they're wrong.
By the way, tonight the Powerball jackpot is $687 million, and I bought Linda a ticket. Just for your knowledge, we're not going to win, but I bought her a ticket anyway.
Actually, you can only put so much money in that mattress of yours.
Oh, God. He doesn't stop. And I want you to know, this guy, a very nice man, he's being prosecuted for choking that guy. What's his name again? I wrote it down here. Whatever.
Daniel Perry, isn't it?
Who's Daniel Perry?
The guy who had a fight on the train. He went in, jumped in. I don't remember the whole story. And he ended up choking the guy or holding the guy down, and the guy died, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the Marine.
His name is Daniel Penny. Now, they won't dismiss the case, but there was another guy on the train this week. He was attacked, and he shot somebody and killed him, and they let him go.
Wait.
What?
Was he licensed?
I don't know if he was licensed, but still having a gun on a train, shooting somebody, again, just because
he could have been.
Did he have a license to carry?
He could have been former law enforcement. He could have been. He could have been armored car guy.
And another guy who was attacked by two muggers, he took out his gun. He was chasing them and shooting them, and cops killed him by mistake.
Because he was chasing them.
Okay, but again, we have to, this.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah, you're not allowed to chase. Like once you pull, so if you pull out a gun, you're being attacked. You pull out a gun. The guys see the gun and they take off. That's the end of it.
Well,
you can't shoot them in the back.
Why not?
Because it's no longer
self-defense. They tried to kill me. They tried to kill me.
It's no longer.
They tried to kill me. I'm going to
kill
them.
But you're not allowed to be a vigilante.
Yeah,
I'm not a vigilante.
You are.
I don't want them to kill somebody else.
No, you're allowed to defend yourself.
Defend yourself.
That's
and you can only defend another under imminent threat. If you see them trying to kill someone else in front of you, then that's
law.
one thing.
That's stupid.
That's the law.
It's stupid. The Second Amendment says that I can shoot anybody with my gun that came after me.
No, you don't get to go after them like Batman or something.
Hold on, let me read you the second. Should I read you the Second Amendment
this guy, now? Go ahead, read it all you want. It doesn't take care of this problem, right? So I understand that if you open your shirt, there's a big H instead of an S. But truth be told,
I like Nicole.
Well, that's a joke that we had up here on the chat like 20 minutes ago. But truth be told, your right to self-defense and defense of another is really a limited right. You have a right to neutralize the threat. Once that threat is neutralized, anything beyond that is now you're stepping over that boundary. You're stepping over.
so
that
the
boundary.
audience should know.
If somebody came into my house,
That's different.
robbed and raped and killed my family, then ran away, I can't chase him.
What do you think? You're Charles Bronson in Death Wish?
That's right.
No, I don't think that's legal, and it wasn't legal then. It wasn't legal
Okay, so I would. Okay, well, I have a question for you. Another legal question before we end the show, and it's coming to the end.
Keep the show going.
Remember this guy,
Why don't we let the show go?
Sam Bankman-Fried,
Yes, the crypto guy.
the crypto guy. They want to give him 40 to 50 years. Is that normal?
That reminds me of Wacky Bernanke. Who was it? It was Ben Bernanke.
Ben Bernanke. No, Ben Bernanke.
Not Ben Bernanke. The other one. Didn't they give him life? He died in prison.
Robert De Niro did the movie too on
Not
him.
Robert De Niro.
No.
he did the
But Robert
movie on
did. They did a movie on him, the scam artist. But anyway, yeah. I mean, listen.
Bernie.
Ben something or other.
No, Bernie. Wow, I can't believe we don't know who the scam is.
Three of us, and we're all like duped. But I'm thinking of someone.
Producer, what's that guy's name? He was one of our people. Bernie
Madoff.
That's it.
Bernie Madoff.
Yeah, didn't Madoff get life? He got a long ass
cheated.
time.
This guy didn't cheat.
So
the
did
people.
he.
This guy made a mistake.
No. Hold on.
This
hold
guy,
on.
that's a Ponzi scheme.
This guy stole money that was in people's accounts, transferred them to another company that he controlled, and spent money left and right. He bought his parents a mansion. He spent money on himself.
Yeah, he bought.
They were having
cars,
like
this,
orgies
that.
over there and brand new cars. all
He's a
kinds-
crook.
So this wasn't a bad thing.
He's a crook.
One more final question before we get off the show. Reparations for the people that were enslaved, their
Descendants of slavery.
Is this crazy? It's still continuing. Now they did it in Los Angeles. They approved it. And now here, where's this money coming from? I don't even know. Where's this reparation?
By the way,
money
the only Republican who voted for the study, right, here in Brooklyn,
Who was it?
Michael Novikov, the assemblyman.
Oh, wow. Idiot.
So okay, you're not going to like my response about reparations. We'll see. It doesn't make sense at this point where we are now to just give a bunch of money to people that we think are descendants of slaves. I don't think that solves the problem, right? At this point, it's become so inequitable that that doesn't solve the problem. What we should be doing instead is analyzing the laws that we have, analyzing the systems in place, because I think the structures are still fundamentally inequitable between certain groups of people.
I don't think so. I think
Fix
Hold
that.
on. Let's
Fix
hear.
that, and then give them a chance, to come up. Handing them a bunch of money now with no ability to get the kind of mortgages that white people had.
Oh,
with
stop. Hey,
hello,
come on.
excuse me, reclaiming my time. With no ability to get the kind of mortgages that they had, with no financial literacy about how to use the money that they're going to be given, you're just going to go into a bunch of impoverished neighborhoods and hand them a bunch of money
By the way,
and say, "Here you go, we're sorry."
This
that
happened
doesn't really work.
This happened during COVID. I had friends that were in casino management in the West Coast, and people would come in with those debit cards that they were giving out in California during COVID, and try to bang them out to get a cash advance on them in the casino. One after the other. And I'm sorry to say, a lot of them were black people. So you need the financial literacy component. Otherwise, you're going to waste the money.
Well, anyways, thank you for watching our show, everybody. Play the music. Come back next week. We love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, my delicious, wonderful